Hello guys, today I'm going to show you a game that I made in my undergrad studies. It is a multiplayer game, first person shooter, and it can be played in a local network just like a Counter-Strike. And let's see what I have built. I have linked this build in the description section. You can check it out, you can download it and check it out if you want. And this is made using the Unity 3D engine, and this is the build file. I have also linked a GitHub project in the description section. You can check it out. And without further ado, let's check the game out. I'm going to execute the game by clicking this playme.exe. First of all, we are going to start a server. For that, we need to click this button and we need to check the server name, input the server name and the port that the server will be using. I'm going to demonstrate it using the same local computer, and we'll be creating two teams. And to start the server, let's click this start server button, and I'm going to allow the network access for this game. And you can see that the server name is server and the number of players connected is 0 for now. If you want to stop the server, then we can stop it. And in the meanwhile, as the server is running, I'm going to run this another instance and spawn a player by clicking this section. It has written that, and as you can see, this button has the label connect to server, and this is start a server and this is connect to a server. Let's click connect to a server, and we need to give the IP of the server that is running, as it is running in our local computer. This port is fine, 127.0.0.1, and we are going to name ourselves the random number that is provided by our system and also the port, and we are going to start this game as a single player, and we have to select which team we are on. I have given the name of Sagarmatha and Bagmati. These are the name of Nepali districts, and I went for that. And let the first player join the Sagarmatha team, and as you can see, the player has spawned, and we can press the WASD button to move around, and we can see the terrains, and we can walk around, press the space, and we can jump around. As you can see, the landscape is not complete, but I might work on it later on. And you can see the health of the player is 100 for now. And let's again spawn another player with another. Let's spawn another player in another team. For that, I'm going to open a new instance of the same game. Connect to server, same port, connect, and this time we are going to be in the Bagmati team. And you can see the another team has spawned, and you can see the random name that I had given to the player. The player is placed in there. You can see that. If you get closer to it, you can see the player being bigger. And let me place these two players side by side, and let's see if the spawn and gameplay is connecting on both sides. I'm using the RPC method, a remote procedural call, to connect these players, and you can see in the right section our movement is being triggered. And let me kill this blue team by hitting it. You can see the health is being reduced, and the player is dead, and we can respawn again, and we can follow that player, and we can also kill this player by the opposite team. And let's again test by connecting another player in a team. Connect to a server and connect, and we will be in back on the team. And you can see that we have 3 players now in 2 teams, and as we are of same team, the damage won't be hurting each other, but the other team damage will be reduced if we hit them. Hope you guys find it useful and enjoying. If you guys want to check it out, you can check in the description section. Now let's go and have a code review of what we have built. what we have coded to build this system. In the GitHub, I have also placed a class diagram of the game. If you guys are interested, you can look at it and see how the entities are related with each other. For example, the moment update, this CS, which is C# code, is related with camera moment script, and how a player name is dependent on the player database. You can get an overview from this diagram. If you want to dig deeper, then you can look at the code. Let's first look at the folder structure, as this is a Unity project. It is built in C# and the output is based in the build folder, and our scripts are placed in assets. Those materials that are related to Unity 3D are placed in materials. You can see the floor, blue and red and yellow, those blasters, those materials are placed here, and the model and textures are placed in here in this folder. And prefabs such as bullet, the bullet that was been fired in the game is placed in here, prefab as a prefab, and the player Bagmati and Sagarmatha prefab also are placed in here. These are the models. And the scene, we have only one scene, as we saw in the game. The main thing is script. We will look at it shortly. Before that, the sounds of gunshot is placed in here, and standard assets such as skyboxes or character controller are placed in here with their own source codes. You can look at those as well, and the textures are placed in here. Now let's look at the scripts. For that, I'm going to open the VS Code. Before looking at the script, I want to tell you guys that if you want a depth tutorial on it, I can provide, but today we are only going to look at the scripts that are placed in this project seriously. And this bullet script is the script responsible to spawn a bullets with its own speed and with its bullet speed, and it also has a boolean if it has hit something. If it has hit something, then we are going to check if the hit is on the floor or on the player of the same team or the other team. If it has hit, then we are going to reduce the health of it. And the camera moment is responsible to attach a camera on the player and update its transform value as the camera moves. The communication script, as the name suggests, it has the property of creating the server with fixed port, and it also enables through RPC remote procedural call to tell the name of the player connected in the server. And the cursor control manages the control movement. Explosion destruct, it is attached in the object when it needs to be exploded, when it is dead. The fire bullet is responsible to fire the bullets from the position of camera head, and you can see that it is placed in the camera head, and when the left button of the mouse is pressed, then a bullet is spawned and its vector position is updated through RPC to the entire network players. And the health, the script is responsible to maintain the health of a single player, and it also is responsible to increase the health if decreased on regular basis, and it also lets other players know the health of a single player. And the moment object is also another RPC script to update all the players with the movement of a player. As you know, like one player moves in a fixed direction, then that movement should be updated in all the instances of the games. This helps to do that. And player database.cs, it keeps track of the number of players that are connected in the server, and also the teams and their states. This player data class is responsible to get the player name and score, and the player team name, it is attached to the player. And the player level is responsible to know if the player is belongs to a fixed team. For this instance, the Bagmat team or Sagarmatha team, then the logic is updated in the GUI of HUD. accordingly, and the player name is attached on the player, and its name is thrown by RPC to all the other players, and the player score is similar to player name, but it has the code to update its state when it kills the enemy team. And reload level script is responsible to recreate the game if the game has ended, and it is responsible to spawn the players. And the score table is responsible to manage the score hits by a fixed team, and it also is responsible for the GUI layout on the server that is running. And the spawn script is responsible to spawn a player of a fixed team in a fixed location that is determined. And the start display is responsible to show the HUD of the start screen. It is responsible for the GUI of the game. And finally, the target is responsible for the texture handling of the GUI. Hope it makes sense. Thank you guys for looking at my final year project of undergrad. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.